Welcome to Counterpoint. I'm Tanya Granick-Allen. Remember the ArriveCan app? You know, the thing you were supposed to download to your phone and enter all sorts of personal information into, just so that you could re-enter your own country, if you were permitted to leave, of course. Well, putting all the constitutional, moral, and ethical issues aside, the app cost you and me, the taxpayer, $54 million to create. $54 million for a little app? Is that really the going price of an app these days? Well, not according to Lazer Technologies, who spent a weekend recreating the app and estimated the cost to develop and implement it would be only around the $250,000 mark. Well, that's a huge difference. So, why did we pay all this money? Was the app really worth the price tag? And how close is this clone to the real deal? Well, joining me now is Zain Manji, head of Toronto-based Lazer Technologies, whose company created the clone. Hi, Zain. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so my burning question here is why did you choose to clone the ArriveCan app?
Initially when we first saw the article about the ArriveCan app costing $54 million, we didn't have any intention to try to clone the app or try to see, what could be done in a short amount of time. We were just initially shocked. A bunch of people just started asking us, like, hey, how hard is it to actually build this app? Maybe you guys can just create a clone of it within like the weekend or within a week. And we kind of just did it for fun, just to kind of test it out and just kind of point point a light towards the fact that there's a lot of really talented engineering people and designers in Canada that could potentially build an app just like that, for a shorter amount of time and with less resources. So that's kind of why we did it, just to kind of shed some light on that fact, and hopefully it worked.
Okay, so how complicated was it to create the app?
So I think just to clarify, right, when we created the app, we basically just created a clone version of the UI of the app. So that's just like the
The,
actual
the
Android,
user,
iOS app,
the user
the user
interface.
interface of the app.
There we go.
Yes, exactly. So the things that are there's a few things missing in the app. Obviously, it's not connected to government systems or any database that stores or handles information. And to be honest, that is a huge part of the puzzle when creating an app like this. The UI itself is actually probably one of the more simpler things to build. Once you kind of know, and for us, we were just imitating what the app already looked like. So it was very easy for us to say, okay, we need this page, we need this page, this is how this page kind of works. But in the real world, you have to go through like a discovery and a design process to figure out
Right.
what is the right flow for users and then build that out.
Right, and of course, the back end is always where a lot of the headaches are. You discover a lot of headaches when you're again trying to interface in with a government database and whatnot.
Hmm.
So, in that regard, I guess in the user interface component is identical then to the ArriveCan app,
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly identical.
but you just don't have all the back end obviously synchronizing because you're not permitted to.
Yeah, I mean, like, that would be a whole process on its own. We'd have to work with like many different stakeholders within the government, many different data providers. We have to make sure that the app is audited according to privacy standards and it's compliant according to regulations. So obviously, like for us, we're not going to do that, or we can't even get access to that without the right authority. So we just did as much as we could, given the amount of time that we had.
Okay, and so apart from the back end, it is identical. It is exactly similar to the ArriveCan app.
Yep, the user interface.
Okay, and you suggested that this could be done for $250,000. That includes if you were to build out the back end?
I actually never said anything about the cost of it.
Okay, apologize. I referenced some news article that suggested this could be done for about a 250,000.
Yeah, but I don't think us or we said that it could be done for a 250,000. It must have been from a different source.
A consultant. Okay, so how much would it just for the user interface? What would that cost you to build out?
I mean, it for us to build it out, I guess over like the the 2 days or the weekend that we build it out, it would just be a few $1,000s max,
Gotcha.
nothing more. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to pick up this discussion in just a few moments when we talk about, how functional is this app and did we spend the right amount of money to have it done? We'll be right back.